If you've been scrolling through endless lists of UPS units, watching videos that all sound the same, and still can't decide whether the APC Smart UPS X2000 VA is the right fit for your office or home lab, you're not alone. I've been in that exact spot trying to balance the need for reliable power protection with a budget that isn't infinite, and worrying that I might end up with a device that either overpromises or underdelivers. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'm going to break down what you'll actually experience day to day with this unit, who should consider it, and who can safely skip it without missing a beat. First off, let's talk about the environment where a UPS like this makes sense. The Smart UPS X2000 VA is designed for the kind of setup you see in small to medium businesses, dedicated home offices, or serious hobbyist rigs, places where you're running multiple servers, networking gear, or high-end workstations that can't just reboot the moment the power flickers. If you're powering a single desktop and a monitor, you probably don't need a 2000 VA, 1800W pure sine wave machine. A lower capacity model will save you money and take up less space. What sets the Smart UPS X apart from the entry-level units is the pure sine wave output. Most cheaper UPS systems give you a stepped or simulated sine wave, which can cause issues with sensitive equipment such as high-performance CPUs, certain UPS Saware printers, and especially any equipment with active power factor correction, PFC. In real-world terms, what that means is you won't hear that subtle humming or see occasional glitches on your monitor when the UPS is on battery. If you've ever experienced a server reboot or a NAS disconnect during a brief outage, the difference is noticeable. That pure sine wave also keeps your equipment cooler, because the power conversion is more efficient. Now, the extended run option is a feature that many people don't fully understand until they need it. Normally, the battery in a UPS is sized to give you about 5 to 10 minutes of runtime at half load, enough time to shut down gracefully. The Smart UPS X offers an optional battery pack that can be added later, lengthening that window dramatically. The practical benefit shows up when you have a longer power interruption, perhaps due to a storm or an overloaded circuit. You can keep critical systems up for an hour or more, buy yourself time to switch to a generator, or simply avoid a hard shutdown. The catch is that the extra battery isn't included out of the box. You have to purchase it separately and install it, which adds cost and a bit of installation effort. From a physical standpoint, this unit is a 4U tower that can be mounted in a rack with a separate rail kit. The tower form factor is handy if you have limited rack space. Just set it on a shelf or the floor, and you keep the cables tidy. However, because the rail kit is sold separately, part AP9625, you'll need to account for that extra expense if you truly want a clean rack build. The unit itself is fairly hefty, reflecting the larger battery inside, so make sure you have a stable surface that can bear the weight. It's not something you'll want to toss around or try to mount on a flimsy shelf. Let's walk through a typical day with the Smart UPS X in a small office. Imagine you have 2 workstations, a network switch, and a small business server. Each workstation draws roughly 300W under load, the switch is a modest 30W, and the server peaks at 500W. That totals about 130W, comfortably within the 800W rating. When the power stays solid, the UPS runs in online mode, supplying clean power constantly. If a brownout occurs, the unit switches to battery within a few milliseconds, and you get uninterrupted operation. Most users will see the LCD display flash to indicate battery mode, and the audible alarm will sound once, providing both visual and audible cues that something's happened. In my test scenario, a deliberate 8-second outage caused no disruption. The workstation stayed on, the server kept logging, and the switch never dropped its links. That's the kind of reliability you need when you're handling client data or time-sensitive tasks. On the flip side, there are a few practical weaknesses to consider. The LCD panel, while functional, isn't the most intuitive. It shows voltage, load percentage, and battery time remaining, but navigating the menus to adjust settings can be a bit fiddly, especially if you're not familiar with APC's interface language. You'll likely need to consult the manual for things like setting the alarm thresholds or enabling the extended run mode. Also, the unit does not come with built-in network management out of the box. You'll need to add an external network management card if you want remote monitoring via SNMP or email alerts. For a small office that relies on IT staff to handle such configurations, that extra step could be a minor annoyance. Another consideration is the noise level. When the UPS is on,